My father was born in Enepta, Palestine, and my mother in Taipei, Taiwan. With both of my parents being from unrecognized countries, our personal narrative is rooted in pain and struggle and systemic oppressive tactics that continue to disenfranchise our people. My story was never told in U.S. history books and was locked shut in the memory banks of my parents, my situ, my amma, my ancestors, myself. Yet, I am able to find empowerment and peace in spaces that uplift and share the stories of women of color and allies, such as my own story and that of high school students in Making Her Story. Making Her Story members, who mostly grew up in my own community of Southside Oklahoma City, remind me of the power in sharing our stories of resilience and learning about the her stories and histories of marginalized peoples as a form of political, and social empowerment. Writing does not come easy to communities that have been told for decades, your stories do not matter. Writing did not come easy for myself, someone who once believed her story, her thoughts, and her voice were unworthy of written word. In Making Her Story, we have been able to flip that narrative around, acknowledging my her story, my roots, my words, our stories matter. Through our created safe space, high school students have shared their own stories as queer youth, as people of color, as undocumented youth, as survivors of domestic abuse, blossoming into young activists and change makers in Southside Oklahoma City. They've discussed the stories of people excluded from history books, that of the Tulsa race riots, that of the banding together of the Third World Liberation Front to fight for ethnic studies, that of their own lived experiences struggling with the school-to-prison pipeline and police brutality. I view Making Her Story as a space where, hopefully, high school students are able to begin cultivating a writer's identity not stuck in an academic box of topic sentences, thesis statements, or MLA formats. I hope they remember stories can come in many shapes and forms, through a written story, tree of life activities, I am from poems, or through the spoken word. I am firm in my belief that through questioning interlocking systems of oppression, privilege dynamics in society, and systemic institutionalized racism and prejudice, my students will understand that while our stories and writing identities may be rooted in struggle and pain, they are also rooted in collective resilience, love, and healing. May the stories of our ancestors live on through the written and spoken word. May we always remember the healing, transformative power in collective resistance. May we continue to remember Audre Lorde's quote, "Your silence will not protect you," as a thoughtful reminder that our her stories do and always will matter.